What were you doing on the day of September 11th, 2001? It is one of the saddest days in American history, as we were attacked without warning, and thousands of innocent people were killed. Since this event, we have been in a constant fight against terrorism, and we are constantly trying to stay one step ahead of the enemy. One form of warfare that has been introduced in the past few years has been the use of drones to fight without the use of soldiers. In my first year of college, my English class focused on learning about what drones were and how they were being used. It is important to know what exactly drones are because they are being talked about lately, making it legal for cities to use drones to police people on the streets. So, what exactly are these drones? What are their advantages and disadvantages of this new technology? In order to know if the use of drones are something we should pursue or not, is that we need to know what exactly drones are. Drones, although not a new technology, have been used mostly in military up to this point, and the use of drones has a long history that has really been prevalent in the past few years. The definition of a drone, as Diane Hyde put it in the Telegraph, is simply an unmanned aircraft. Even though they are unmanned, they have many abilities they can perform. They can take images or to find particular targets that may be directed for military leaders, and they can often be armed with missiles so that they can execute targets that are assigned by these same military leaders. The technology in the past few years has been explored for other purposes other than just war. Amazon and Google, for instance, have looked at using it as a faster way to ship packages. Facebook has been using it to look at a way to provide internet service for people in rural areas. The history of the drone dates back further than a lot of people would think. According to Monash, the first use of drones were August 22nd, 1849. The Australians, who controlled most of Italy at the time, launched some 200 pilotless balloons against the city of Venice. The use of drones continued to be developed through each of the world wars, as they would a way to reduce deaths that countries would suffer. Following the September 11th attacks, the United States decided to take the gloves off, in the infamous words of Cofer Black. Some of these attacks in America, the United States have done whatever they had to do to try to fight terrorism in the world. The first few attacks were a disaster. They often killed people who were not the people they thought. In 2002, for instance, according to The Nation, an attack they thought killed Osama bin Laden actually ended up killing someone, as the Pentagon said. We don't know exactly yet who it was, which caused a lot of questions to arise. The history of drones goes a lot further back than many people actually realized, and is something that was originally only used by the military to now something that companies are looking at using. So the question has been, is this something we should continue to use, or are there limits we should put on it? There are some reasons people feel that drones are positive. The use of drones has helped to reduce many deaths that countries have experienced in war, as a way to help find terrorists faster than ever before. The use of drones has been able to help in the fight against terrorism in the past decade. As BBC said, drones are used in situations where manned flight is considered too risky or difficult. Because we can use drones to execute these dangerous attacks, it has been able to save many lives. One is less likely to be upset if they hear a drone was shot down, compared to if you hear a pilot was shot down in an attack. One fact that Procon mentioned was that drones kill fewer citizens as a percentage of total fatalities than any other military weapon. The fact that a drone can detect a particular target to attack, there are less civilian lives that are lost. This means that the less innocent people who did not want to fight that war will not be in danger. On top of being able to save lives, they've also been able to make it easier to find terrorists. When it takes a picture, they are able to find where people are, which can help in pinpointing where exactly someone is when they fit a particular description they've given. This saves hundreds of man hours of work that would have been needed to scan the area for that the drone did without having cost any time. The fight against terrorism is a constant fight. We must always stay on top of the enemy. The moment we fall behind terrorist and technological advances, we risk another 9/11. The enemy will never back down from accomplishing their goals, meaning we need to make every effort to protect ourselves. As this has shown the use of drones has been able to reduce the amount of people that lose their life in battle against terrorism, they also help assist in our constant fight against it. Even though there are many positives that have come from the use of drones, there are also some that have issues that need to be addressed and considered before forming a definite opinion to support their use. There are some others that feel that drones are not that great of a thing. People question if the use of drones will at some point infringe on their privacy, as well as worry about the accountability that the operators have to have. Some people are a little concerned that the power that these people are given can be abused. As mentioned before, one of the main purposes of drones is that they can take images of people to track where they are. This makes some people nervous that they can be watched from the skies without even knowing it. This especially comes up as an issue if there are private drones being used, because there's really no one to regulate them. Others are just generally concerned that the use of artificial intelligence, such as a drone, is a real concern because drones can fly and operate without any pilot in them, which causes some to be worried that they could end up doing something that wasn't ordered to do, since it is still a technology that can fail. Another concern is they wonder who is going to be accountable for the actions. In 2001 attacks, for instance, some feel that this can just be part of war and that you don't worry about it. Others feel that the attack should be held accountable for the ones who ordered the attack. Another concern is who has control over these aircrafts? How do we decide who these people are? What responsibilities are they going to be given? As we can see, some concerns as to the privacy of people, they can be a problem, and are concerned if people who control the drones are going to be accountable. These are all solid arguments to both sides. To each person has to choose to which side they are going to take on the topic. Drones have many different uses that can be alternative solution to a few different problems. But there are also both pros and cons when it comes to the uses of this technology that need to be addressed. And now that you know a little bit more about what drones are, what is your opinion on the topic? Do you feel that there's something that we could expand on and put to good use? Or should it not be used in any situation? It is a debate that will continue as long as we continue to use the drones.